what I always tell people, if in my opinion, if you want to be successful in trucking as a truck owner, is trucking is built on relationships and being professional and getting to that next level is how well you can build relationships. You can't build relationships with an app just for picking people up. Using Uber for example, picking people up at the curb in Washington D.C. is completely different than hauling people, and hauling them 5 miles. Completely different people picking up people's freight. The one thing I learned right away was you're right. Everything that happens comes down on that driver. If you're the guy who's driving the truck, whether you own
Yep.
it, you're driving it, it comes to you.
Right.
So the sooner you learn, right, wrong, or indifferent, you're the face of whoever's product you're hauling. I mean, I hauled for GE for like 8 years. I never worked for GE in my life. I hauled their product on my truck. But when I got to these places with their chemical, people, I was like GE. I was Mr. GE, you
Right.
know?
You're a representation of General Electric.
Exactly. And I was a professional and always done it. And I hauled these chemical totes for GE for so long. I knew how some of the problems. Once in a while they'd call me. I carried extra parts. I could fix leaking totes or gas, whatever. I had the stuff with me and could do it and the customer was happy and GE was happy. And it
Right.
was an exclusive deal. I
Right.
mean, it was a great deal what we were hauling. The money and everything was a fantastic deal. But again, I had built a relationship, a rapport, one with the lady who had the freight, one with GE, one with their customers. I mean, I still talk to some of their reps and places, made friendships. But that's what you have to have in your mind. And you can't get mad and upset because problems happen. Your truck could break
Every
down
day.
tomorrow and you're late. You get there, look, I never yell at a customer, but I might call the agent or the broker and chew their ass and be like, hey, you need to give me some money. I'm not going to make you be a dipshit to their customer and make them lose their customer. But I don't mind calling and yelling at them because, again, it's relationships.
Oh, yeah.
You do what you say, they do what they say. You take a bad load once in a while to help them out. They should give you that gravy load once in a while. And
Exactly.
that's how you really get successful. And you're never, ever going to have that with computer apps. And it's just you can never move to that next level as a trucker, in my opinion, with these computer apps.
Great point, Louis. But I think, that's what's the respect for that is what's missing in the industry. It's missing at from everyone to the driver level. And if you're a shipper and you choose to do business with a digital app brokerage, right? Because you don't want a relationship with anybody, you don't want to deal with anybody, etc., then you're going to get exactly what you paid for and the problems that go with it. So not only could the carrier not pick up the phone and communicate real time with anybody to get a problem solved, neither could the shipper, which goes back to the four things I thought of that were really the major problems. Number one, valuations of the companies as tech companies, not brokerages, right? They want to be a broker, be a broker. Second, you got to focus at your core competencies. Your core competencies are vital for you to understand what industry you're in and what you need to be from a core competency perspective. If you're a tech person in a tech company, you're a duck out of water in the transportation world. So then at that level, we say the whole model's set up for failure, but we understand that, there may be it might work in certain scenarios or certain pockets in our industry, depending on what the commodities are, or, whether it's urgent, not urgent, doesn't matter. We got a warehouse full of it sitting over there. Go put it in the line. Some of those scenarios have probably fed it and made it last a little bit longer because at the end of the day, you are removing people, but you're also removing value and relationships. So when the market flips, we all know the trucking industry is going to go up, it's going to go down, capacity's tight, it's loose. Now we need trucks. Well, you didn't build any relationships. So I can tell you, the digital platform brokerages were paying way more trying to get trucks when trucks were tight than what I was paying with my guys that I take care of 52 weeks of the year for years, right? They're going to say, you know what? I'm not even going over there. John at Triple T or Lucas at Triple T or whoever, they get me taken care of. They load me both directions. I don't have to worry. My money's ACH'd into my account every Friday. I don't have to send them a bill. I can scan my bills in from the truck stop. They're here serving me, right? I don't want to cut them out. They don't want to cut me out. We have a good thing going here. Everybody takes care of each other. We're going to keep rowing. And I think there's no respect for that because the tech people and the tech investment is not in the trucking industry. That's the fourth thing that I think is the biggest issue of why it would fail. You're not in this industry. You're not committed into this industry. You're not vested into what happens from a carrier side or a shipper side or both. You have to be both to be successful because you can't make everybody happy. I could just imagine when something went wrong, Louis, if I was working on it for you, you bellowing at me on the phone, Johnny, you got to get me taken care of. I got another load to pick up. I'm not sitting here all day. How come we don't have it? 15 minutes later, Louis on the phone again. John, did you get this solved yet? I got to go. I get it. And that's what it takes for you to be passionate and successful about your job. I have to understand that on my end and get it solved as quick as possible. And I have to tell you what's going on and what we're waiting on. And we got one more person has to be brought into the loop and they're going to make a decision of whether we're going to drop it, whether we're going to take it back, no matter what the scenario is, what we're going to do, we're going to get a solution for you in a timely manner. But I could just imagine, Joe, could you imagine how Louie'd be beating on us?
No.
No, he can't.
I'd be black and blue.
But
the other thing, John, if I could add is, I believe that these digital brokers, I'm not going to say every one of them, but what I heard about a few of them, they went into the large shippers, the Home Depots, the PepsiCos,
Yep.
the Crafts, and they basically bought some business. They put in low rates with low margins. And yeah, maybe when you're flush with cash because of the IPO and not the IPO, because you got venture capital money, you could do that for a while. But like you said, the market turns. And then the other thing that happened to these guys, interest rates went up, tremendously. So all of a sudden, these venture capitalists are saying, whoa, just don't grow. I don't need you just to grow business. I need you to show a profit. And these guys couldn't show a profit. So I think you had that whammy come on them too. So they had a few things that went wrong for them. And again, that I think they were set up to fail basically because of the interest
I agree.
rates.
I think that's and I think that the venture capital, if they were involved in transportation at any level, they would understand that, just like Louie. We don't have a different contract with all of our carriers. Everybody signs the one contract. They come to us for the problem. We're gonna fix it, right? And we're gonna take that ownership in a positive light. We want that ownership. But when you're dealing with tech people that aren't trucking people or trucking industry people and decision makers with house money, that's never a good sign. House money is always going to lose. You're playing with someone else's money.
Yeah, the other problem with a lot of these big shippers, I mean, they got extended payment terms. Some of these guys are out there 90 to 120 days. Well, even a digital broker, they have to pay their carriers, within a week or 3-4 days, whatever it is. You can't string out a driver or a carrier that long. So they're paying up front. They're trying to float their receivables. Their interest rates go up, and they get their brains beat in. And that's they run out of cash and they go bankrupt. I mean, that's in a nutshell, I think, what happened.
Well, Triple T Transport was started by an owner-operator in Columbus. Okay? Everybody that we've done business with since 1988 has been paid within the first 7 to 10 days. Any vendor we work with, 7 to 10 days. In every scenario, you have to understand when you're the broker, you have to be everything to everyone to earn your money and earn that relationship and earn that trust.
But then you got shippers that are stringing you out 30, 60, 90 days.
Those are our choices to make. Now, is it a smart business decision? No, we don't let anybody string us out. But we also aren't doing business on someone else's revenue. We're doing it on our own. We're 100% employee owned. So everyone here has a stake in this. It's a different scenario, but I'm not surprised. I'm actually surprised it hasn't happened faster. With seeing the number of layoffs, etc. They obviously realized too late into the equation that they needed to hire staff. But when things are crazy, it's all going to happen at once, and then you can go a week or 2 or 3 weeks without needing that. So getting the staffing right, and then trying to get skilled people, then you're going to have to pay them. Well, the way our industry works, there's opportunities that are built on timing, and then there's opportunities built on price. And if you're going in lowballing numbers, below sustainable numbers for everyone in the industry, hoping to keep the business after that and to raise it, that's not a successful strategy in our industry, is it, Lewie?
Nope. Don't haul cheap freight. That's what we live by here in OOIDA. We got t-shirts to say that too.
So
just another plug for my little store.
Well, you got a link for your apparel. Is it on the OOIDA?
It's OOIDA.com. You can find
everybody watching. We want to make sure that you get a Lewie t-shirt. That's important. Support our trucks out there and let everybody know that you appreciate them, because it's different. And we're going to get into that in our next podcast, Lewie. We're going to talk about the driver scenario on the next one we do together. Okay. Hey,
Sounds good.
Joe, appreciate you joining us.
No problem. Enjoyed it.
All right. And Lewie, until next time.
Thanks for what you do, truckers. We couldn't be a country without you. So thank you for the men and women going up and down the road.
None of us would be successful without you. And it's important that all the carriers out there, whether you're a company guy or an owner-operator, that you understand that we get it, and we know that 74 or 78% of everything we buy is hauled by you.
Exclusively.
Exclusively, yes.